Hey traders and investors, Serge Berger here. Today I want to have a look at shares of Walmart, which recently got hit pretty hard after making some announcements regarding sales revenue that came in below forecasts, some stock buybacks, which actually should have been positive for the immediate term, and some other changes that investors just quite frankly weren't ready yet. So what we've seen here, if you look at this chart here, is Walmart essentially has, as a result, retraced the entire breakout that it staged in 2012 into the highs of 2015, and actually, for the time being, actually dropped below this blue support line that you can see on the chart. At the same time, if you look at the momentum oscillators, this is just one of them I've got here. Most of them are extremely severely oversold, which at the very least should say that the stock is going to slow down the rate of change to the downside. So that's the big picture here. Increasingly, from this perspective, the stock to me is looking to be something more of a buy than a sell. Again, keep in mind this entire retracement we've had here has basically now gotten the stock to retest, so to speak, the support area or kind of marginally break below it. And the support area previously was, of course, resistance. So that's the daily view. Let's look at a couple other things though. First of all, just to kind of for the bear case and a little bit more for fun than anything else. This is Walmart or Walfart as I label it here versus in red versus Amazon.com in blue, and you can see these divergences, which really to me is more something of a systemic shift in retailing as opposed to something that's going to mean revert anytime soon, right? I don't expect Amazon to fall off a cliff. I don't expect Walmart to be able to stage a turnaround here immediate term. At the same time, though, I think Walmart is probably oversold, and for those longer term investors that want to take advantage of this real big drop in the shares as of late, I think there's a trade to do here on the long side using options. Let's have a look at the daily chart of Walmart, and you can see what's going on here is that the stock is essentially, as a result of the recent sell-off, again reached the lower end of this downtrending channel. Now, it doesn't mean it can't go a little bit lower, but look at the volume spike we had on this big sell-off day just recently. That obviously is something that needs to be respected. So from my perspective, the thing to do here is use options. If we look at the options have actually spiked on the back of this sell-off that took place on October 14th. Stock dropped about 10% in one day. Options volatility has actually increased. So the options are now, Walmart options are actually now trading implied volatility is trading about the 84th, 85th percentile of the 52-week range. So in other words, implied volatility is high. The options, are expensive. So if you're an option seller, that's what you want to see. I think what could go out here, 10% out of the money, say a few months into the future, say January 2016 strikes, 55 strikes, to me look like something that's quite attractive. It's not a suggestion, it's just something I'm looking at personally. I'm kind of telling you what I'm seeing here, and I think that's quite attractive. Essentially what you're doing, if you look at the chart here, let me get back to this big chart. If you were to sell a January 55 strike put, you're essentially saying that, listen, I'm happy to buy this stock by January 2016 expiration near 55 bucks, and I'm happy to receive a premium for that, for having someone give me this exercise. In other words, the person selling me this option is basically forcing me at their will to have to buy the stock at 55. But if I feel comfortable with that, and I do, from a long-term perspective, 55 bucks here from a price perspective is a pretty interesting spot for the stock to get to. So worst case scenario, I get the stock put to me by January 2016 around 55 bucks. Of course, I get to keep the premium as well, which is nice. So that's what I'm looking at here in Walmart. I hope this makes sense, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.